Well, hello YouTube, Louie here, and welcome to the weekend. Pardon my voice, I've got a little frog in my throat here. So I'm going to break this video into three parts. The first part, I'm going to unbox the new offering from Germania Mint in the Allegories series, and this is Germania and Gallia. All right, last in the Allegories series. Then I'm going to move on to comments from the last video. There were some great comments from people who are working on their first 1,000 ounces or who have achieved their first 1,000 ounces. And finally, we're going to get into markets and why I'm not buying the dip right now. Okay, let's get going. All right, guys, I am pleased to present the last in the Allegories series. This is Germania and Gallia. If you don't know where Gallia is, it is the Latin name for Gaul. Gaul used to encompass France, northern Italy, Belgium, Switzerland, and other parts of Europe. And it was controlled by the Romans for nearly 500 years. And by Julius Caesar in around 50 BC. Well, the Romans did not hold it forever, and here Gallia, who I imagine is mostly French, but I could be wrong about that, is taking back her country. Let's go ahead and look at that beautiful image. We have all the normal symbolism we see with Germania, hand in hand with the female goddess here, if you will. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back. There it is, the bicephalous eagle, the boar, the standards of the various tribes of the time. We have a date of 2023 on top, and the 5-mark mythical designation. Very beautiful. Definitely comes with COA, blister pack, beautiful Germania quality, and the last in the series. So have you been collecting the Allegories series? You know there are many different sizes and finishes, and I won't go into all those again, but pretty much any size you want and any finish you want, you could have collected this series. And I wonder if history will be kind to the resale prices on these. There are limited quantities of all of them. The most, though, however, in the 1 ounce format, but some of the other formats are quite low mintage and quite high premium. So if you see this and you are looking to complete your collection, absolutely pick it up and do so. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And that'll be it for Allegories. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and thank you, Germania Mint, for providing me this beautiful round. All right, comments. This is on the last video. This is from @handle number 7. As a part-timer working for a big company, I can attest to it being possible for literally anyone to stack PMs. Think overtime plus side gig. I more or less started in last July. I've accumulated over 300 ounces so far. I go full-time in August and will ramp up my stacking significantly at that time. When they drop, I buy. When they drop more, I buy more. When they seriously tank, I buy a lot more. And okay, let's keep going. Salivate Metal says, I think 1,000 ounces is a good goal for stackers. Definitely look at your budget and make adjustments for unnecessary things and put that money towards your stack. Here is at Blackbird Hollow 3889. I started stacking in 2016 with a couple of tubes of generic rounds. I bought in the dips. I wasn't picky, acquired a few 10-ounce bars and a couple tubes of American Silver Eagles, some Constitutional Silver when rounds were scarce. I went for poundage over pretty. Crossed the 1,000 ounce mark last summer. Took me 7 years at a comfortable pace. Let's see, this is Corbett Roberts. I've been stacking at a small pace since 2018 with 4 kids, a house payment, and a single income family. It's helped me. 1,000 ounces seems very difficult, but an ounce or two per paycheck adds up over time. This is from Max Cactus 7. You'd be surprised how quickly a stack can grow when a man is focused and determined. I know a guy who started stacking sovereigns 1 ounce rounds. When he got to 1,000 ounces, he started stacking 10-ounce bars. Pretty soon he hit 2,000 ounces. Then kilos started coming in, even a few 100-ounce bars. He has over 3,500 ounces now. Silver Hair Stacker 8664. Good talk, Louie. Yeah, I may have more than 1,000 ounces. This is from Hillbilly Stacker. I do bars for weight myself and also some generic tubes. I got a chest of 5-ounce bars and a chest of 10-ounce bars. I don't really have but a few 1-ounce bars. Bars are the best for weight with the premiums. I built my stack on bars and Constitutional back when you could get it per spot. I miss the days of dirt cheap Constitutional. I can't get over the premiums now. This is a really good comment from Ronald Hall 2489. The thing is, just start stacking without digging a hole for yourself. The worst thing is someone just starting to go too fast. But Louis is right, you can eat an elephant one bite at a time. That's right, don't dig a hole for yourself and then have to sell your stack rather than hold on to it. Part-time prepper. I always thought 1,000-ounce silver and 10 ounces of gold, and anything over is gravy. Well, that's a pretty good stack, my friend. Let's see. Victor Frankenstein 5202. While it does make sense to buy larger quantities of silver, 10-ounce bars, kilo, etc., I agree with one commenter that many new stackers can't necessarily afford to spend $300 to $800 at a time. We all know the best way to stack is purchase the cheapest silver you can afford. Silver Bean Counter says, alls I can say is keep stacking. Let's see, Mystery Buyer 3738. I've done this simply by buying regularly for a long time. No set amount, but just by buying and going without a few things. Let's see, Mark Hall 5776. Great video and some really good advice. My income is a lot lower, so I tend to shop at the lower scale of 5 ounces per purchase, as it gives some discount on just buying 1 ounce. Here the coins are the same as bars in price, but it pays to shop around. A good eBay store with a good reputation can beat the best bullion dealers. I've found that as well sometimes. And you get your credit card discount, which helps a lot. Let's see, the Impaler 2317. I'm nowhere near 1,000 goal. I'm still working on my first 100. But I find that all of the packaging, the flips, baggies, capsules, and anything used to protect the silver is taking up a lot more room than the silver itself. If it ever comes down to it, we have to start using it as currency. I don't see people keeping them in their original packaging. I think this is an important comment, and I just want to respond that if you are working on your first 1,000 ounces and you are accumulating packaging, boxes, slabs, stuff that does not stack, you are probably not stacking weight, you are stacking collectibles. And my advice would be not to do that. Until you get your first 1,000 ounces, you want weight. You can do that in tubes, you can do that in 5-ounce, 10-ounce bars, kilo bars. Anything that's weight will generally stack, and you won't have to worry about the packaging. All right, and here's someone who disagrees with kilo bars. He says 10-ounce bars are best, although they will cost you a little more. Of course, I was going for maximum weight at minimum cost, but if you wanted to take it in 10-ounce bar bites, you could. Just plan on spending about $1 more an ounce. Let's see. I have just one in 888. I have trees and plants that make silver: pomegranates, lemon, lime, apples, oranges, plums, tomatoes, peppers, rosemary, thyme, and so on. It takes some time and effort, but so does working. I don't have to buy as much fruit and veggies, and that becomes silver and gold. I also save rainwater. I'm with you, brother. I'd love to save rainwater based on what they charge where I live. Let's see. Here is Plumber Joe, 80. My goal is 500 ounces of silver and 10 ounces of gold. I'm closer on the silver side than I am on the gold side. So if you want to diversify, you could certainly split that goal up. And I would say that you are, at the equivalent of 1,000 ounces of silver because you've added gold. I think that's a great idea. But a lot harder to, so instead of saving $25,000, now you got to save $50,000 if you want to get to 1,000 ounces of silver and 20 ounces of gold. Okay, Victor Frankenstein, 5202. Eagles were always, and I think always will be, the best brick in your stack. But that was before COVID. Now the premiums are $10 over or more. It wouldn't make sense to build your stack on Eagles. Generic is your best bet now. Cost average as low as possible. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Designs BYG. Stacking gives me comfort. I reached my 1,000 ounce goal in the last few months. Took me about 3 years. I still buy on the dips when I can. There's no reason to stop at 1,000 ounces. This is Matt Clark, 4112. Wow, 1,000 ounces. I passed that point in 1982. Well, I'd love to see your stack, brother. This is Cardivo. I reached it shortly, the 1,000 ounce. I bought 2014 to 2017 silver and had a pause until 2021. I have 40% 999 silver and around 60% junk silver, but mostly European junk silver. I live in Switzerland. Well, that junk silver is bringing huge premiums. Think about selling that. Eli says, nice. I have wondered what my new goal would be since I just reached 400 ounces. 500, 1,000, 2,000, and what would I do next? Well, that's a good question. Let's see. Snails and Dumb 9412. The best decision for my wallet, an electric scooter. I paid $500 for it a year ago. By now I would have paid more than double that in gas. The money I save I pour into PMs and savings, of course. It's not much now, but by the time it's useful, it'll be quite comfy. David Hamtero, 1 kilogram silver bars equals 10 ounces of gold. Totally worth buying the kilo bar. 10 grams of gold. Yeah, there you go. Well, you got to watch that GSR. And when the GSR was 91, silver definitely was the better buy. The GSR down here around 79. I don't know. Maybe that gold is looking better now. Let's see. Complaints about the electric car. Okay, I get it. Buy what you want. That's true freedom. Slow and steady from Johnny O, 1300. Slow and steady wins the race. When I first got started, I never thought I would get to 1,000 ounces. Before you know it, you're making new milestones. It's no longer 1, it's 2. Maybe you start off with the 10-ounce goal. I'd recommend a roll of silver dimes for every new stacker with a roll of dimes. Pour on the table and play with those little guys. Yeah, true. Mystery buyer 3738. Really, though, 1,000 ounces should be seen as an entry point into the world of elitism. It's substantial, but still way too small for my taste. Okay, there's a big boy there. Let's see. The hobos are from Atmex. Let's see. Danica Woman. I really want to have at least 1,000 ounces of silver, but I'm quite a long way off, even though I started to stack in 2017. I just have such a small amount to buy with. I was trying hard to add 30 ounces for months, now to reach 600 ounces. But I just got too many expenses, unexpected expenses, so I could not do it. I have not driven my car yet this year to save on gas. There's a good idea. I'm an artist and have not had sold anything for a long time. I don't owe any money to anyone. If I don't have the money, I don't buy anything. Well, I think there were some comments here about using Etsy possibly for your art, but hang in there. Every ounce you add is an ounce closer to financial freedom. DLEETR says, if people are drinking Starbucks coffee, they don't need to be stacking. They've got much deeper problems to address. Let's see. J Rad says, need to start with a cash buffer. I had a few grand in cash and 6 months worth of food and zero debt before I bought my first ounce. Won't do any good stacking silver if you're not ahead of the game in life in other areas. Great point for stacking up a cash buffer and your supplies. Okay, I'm going to stop here, but there are plenty more comments. Those were great comments, guys. Thank you for your thoughts, and at the end of this video, I have a little surprise for you. All right, and now for market commentary. We've got gold at 2004, silver at 25.33, and platinum at 1,046. Let's talk about this market. We have been going straight up for pretty much a month now, and breaking to new highs, breaking over resistance, and silver has just looked incredibly strong. Even stronger than gold, which all eyes have been on gold, while silver just creeps up over and over, keeps climbing to new highs. You can see that in the gold to silver ratio. When people had turned their backs on silver, that ratio went up as high as 91, might have even been 92. Incredible high number, which always indicates, in my opinion, stack silver over gold. But look at us now. We broke 80. We are at 79. We may have flirted with 78 for a minute there. That's because silver is doing what it often does. It is catching up. And now with this GSR a lot lower, you may want to turn your focus back to gold, or you may want to stick with silver. We have been waiting for about a month for a pullback. There was a cute picture on Instagram of somebody waiting for the silver pullback, and it was a skeleton, right? He'd been waiting so long, and a lot of us have been doing that. We were sure the pullback was going to come this day, that day, the next week, the next week. And as you can see, silver just kept, pushing higher. All right, so here's the chart again, a little closer picture of the recent run-up from 20 to 26 over the last month. And you can see how vertical that was. I'm going to give a little advice here, and maybe I'm just playing probabilities, but this pullback into the mid to low 25s, I don't think is done. Anything that goes up for that period of time, for an entire month, maybe even a little bit longer, I would give it some time to settle back down. If you're just itching to buy the dip, I don't think this is it. I think that if something takes 30 days to go up, I think it would be completely reasonable for it to take its downtrend, its consolidation phase over a 15-day period. So I would not buy today or this weekend, even though I'm sure it's tempting. I would have patience and give yourself a week or two, possibly a little bit more, to see where we settle. It's completely reasonable to expect silver to go back to 24. It could even go back to 23. I'm not saying I guarantee that will happen, but anything that goes straight up for a month is bound to consolidate at a lower level. And I think, silver has somewhat run out of steam here. I think gold has run out of steam a little bit. And I think we need to give this a few days to play out. I've definitely learned over time that buying the first dip, the first big dip, on a day where there's no recovery is usually a mistake. You usually want to wait for at least the second day. And in this case, I think I'd give this a week or two to see where we settle out, and let some of the FOMO die out. At the same time, I'm hoping that the premiums come down, because retailers, the big bullion retailers, see this as well, and they may start pulling back their premiums. You may see more sales. The more sales that you see, the more likely it is that they're expecting silver to pull back. Gold as well. One of the other reasons I think we may be in for several days of pullback is that the dollar really had a positive day on Friday. Interest rates spiked up. I don't know if interest rates will continue up here. I think they may not. But the dollar may continue to gain strength for a period of time. That may coincide with the 2-week period I'm talking about. If you see the dollar rising and you see silver selling off, I'd kind of wait and see what happens until we get a new floor. Look for those premiums to come down, hopefully a little bit. Whatever you do, probably don't buy the wrong thing. Again, look for the low premium. And you will find premiums in the $2 to $3 range if you're not too picky, and you may even find some good stuff. Okay, and also keep an eye out for these little 1-ounce Germania bars. They have taken off in the aftermarket because the inventory is very, very low on these, and from what I hear, may not be replenished for several weeks now. So if you can find those at a good price, grab them. Congratulations from the Silver Robot. Thousand ounces.